If you are planning a trip to Dublin, you found the right video. Here are 4 things that you can do on your next trip to Dublin. And this is coming from experience because this is what I did while I was there. Hey! If you're new here, hi, welcome to Jeff Takes the World. I'm Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
And I love sharing all of my travel inspiration, ideas, etc. with you here on my channel. So if you like that, please stick around, subscribe. Let's get right into the video. The first thing is obvious.
Titties?
Guinness. You have to go to the Guinness Storehouse. Like, come on. You can't go to Ireland and not go have a Guinness at the factory. It starts at about 22 euros for a ticket. A ticket does include a drink up top at the Gravity Bar, which is a beautiful little bar that they have at the top of the storehouse where you can get a 360-degree view of Dublin. Other tour options as well that you can do. You can do a stoutie add-on, which actually prints like a selfie onto your Guinness, which I did not do, which I kind of regret not doing, to be honest. The storehouse is huge. It's about 7 floors, I think, and you can do the tour on your own if that's the one that you pay for. And you can take your time. You get to learn about the history of Guinness, like as a company, and you get to learn all sorts of stuff about how it's made and beer making in general. So that is an absolute must, even if you're not the biggest beer drinker. They also have non-alcoholic Guinness as well, so you can try that at the top of the Gravity Bar if you're not into the beers at all. All right, next. Okay, the next thing to do in Dublin that I do think is worth it is to go and take a look at the Dublin Castle and do the tour of that. So Dublin Castle was constructed in the early 13th century on the site of a Viking settlement. Dublin Castle served for centuries as the headquarters of English and later British administration in Ireland. In 1922, following Ireland's independence, Dublin Castle was handed over to the new Irish government. It is now a major government hub and a key tourist attraction. It is worth it. It's a really cool castle. The tour costs around 8 euros. It's really beautiful inside. So many different rooms to see and artwork too that's hanging on the walls. There's a lot of history there, especially because this has been around since the 13th century, which is just mind-blowing. It's just crazy. From checking out their website, it is closed to visitors until January 2027. Next. All right, this next one is accessible not just from Dublin, but from a few other parts of Ireland as well. However, if you are, say, only going to Dublin for a few days, or like Dublin is just a stop somewhere for you going on to somewhere else in Europe, then you absolutely have to do a day trip from Dublin to the Cliffs of Moher. Super beautiful. There's so many tour options from Dublin on sites like Klook, Viator, Get Your Guide. When I went, we did a tour that also stopped at the Burren and in Galway, so it was a long, I think like 13-hour day. Picked us up in the morning, we drove out to the cliffs, got to see so many things along the way as well, and it was just really beautiful and worth it. And just being out there in the Irish countryside is stunning. I highly, highly recommend the Cliffs of Moher. All right, next. This is the next bus up in here.
Hi, I'm Evan.
Alex.
You have a really weak handshake, so I have to say next.
You're really ugly, and it's your loss, bitch.
The last thing you can do almost anywhere in Dublin, and that is you have to visit an Irish pub. It's like the Guinness factory. You can't not go to an Irish pub when you're in Dublin. Like, come on. Obviously pubs all over the city, but notably some of the more popular ones would be the Temple Bar. That is a pretty popular, I would say the more widely known Irish pub. And Brazen Head, that is the oldest Irish pub in Dublin. The Brazen Head traces its roots back to the year 1198. Irish pubs also have a lot of live music, so it's just a very lively environment. Also, Irish pub food, so good, and it's a great place to get a Guinness. I was only in Dublin for about 3 days, so those are 4 things that I did on my trip. In the next video, I'm going to tell you 4 or 5 things that I didn't do in Dublin that I wish I had done. So I hope to see you again, and until then, keep taking on the world. Bye!